You are listening to Trinity Topics. Hello, my name is Jeff March.
And Emily Main.
This marks our 4th week of doing this talk show, and we would like to welcome you to episode 4, where we will be speaking with Danielle George, who will be talking about an issue surrounding bus and traffic safety after witnessing a few very close calls while picking her children up from the bus after school, as well as Markland native Tonya Somerton, who will speak to us about the condition of Markland Road.
Just in case this is your first time listening to our broadcast, we are a talk show that aims to bring you information about practically anything and everything community. Whether it be local news, public issues, community events, or entertainment, we are here to talk to you and to have your voice heard.
To submit a news idea or something you would like to have on our show, or maybe you have suggestions for future broadcast ideas, please get in touch with us through our Facebook page or via email at trinitytopics@hotmail.com.
So Jeff, it's been 4 weeks now. This is our 4th episode. It hasn't been a really busy week for me other than dealing with the mountain of snow that we've been having.
And it's been crazy.
But here's some great news that you have to give our listeners.
Yes, Vanessa and I had our second child on Sunday. We have a bouncing baby boy who weighed 6 pounds, 15 ounces, born at the Janeway at 4:15 p.m. And I would like to give a huge thank you and shout out to all the staff and nurses and doctors especially as well, who took such good care of us all over the course of a couple of days that we were there. During pregnancy, Benjamin, that's his name, at 37 weeks, they discovered a heart arrhythmia that didn't show up at any other point except for future testings after the 37-week period. And at 38 weeks, it disappeared. But then when he was born, it reappeared again. And we've been told that it's a very common thing that happens among newborn babies. It's not something that happens it happens very frequently, apparently.
It's common.
But I would just like to say a huge thank you to all of the medical professionals who took such great care of him after the fact and did so much testing and just took really good care of him.
Cardiology.
He was, yeah. And coincidentally, this is Heart and Stroke Month, and when he was born, they gave him a red wool hat with a little card about different things about heart disease and heart attack, and trying to raise awareness for it as well, and trying to promote good health.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really touching story, Jeff, because when you go and experience those things, it really hits home, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Right? When my daughter Cassandra was born, the cardiology team was in the room with her because she was going in distress, and she had a heart murmur as well. Mm-hmm. And she was followed by the Janeway cardiology unit for almost 2 years, and she was doing fine. But you really become more aware of how even small children and babies can be born with cardiac and heart issues, not even thinking about all the other cardiac patients that are in this province and everything surrounding that.
Definitely. And I found when they took him out, they took him for an hour just after he was born to hook him up to the monitors and whatever. And I found during that full hour we were very, very worried, and it was almost like the world just stopped. It was just, we were there and we were in the room, and my brother and his girlfriend happened to be there as well with us, and I'm thankful that they were, because they were able to keep us a little bit more calmer and engaging in conversation. If they weren't there, we would have just been totally alone and just sitting there waiting for news that seemed like it just never came. And even though it was only an hour, I mean, I can't even imagine what some people must go through, having to wait weeks and months and even years sometimes for results to such life-changing medical conditions. And I'm so thankful that this particular condition isn't life-threatening, and it's something that will resolve in time, and I'm just so very thankful for it.
I had seen on Twitter, there was a story posted about a young girl who had cardiac surgery as a young infant. And my heart just went out to her and her family, and I wished her a happy Valentine's Day on Twitter, because I was like, they showed pictures of her recovery, and you just realize, wow, this little tiny human being went through so much.
Yeah, for sure.
And the family, of course, that was with her, right?
The human body is very, very intricate, and very surprising what happens inside of it, and how sometimes it can repair itself, and
Indeed.
It's amazing.
And we're very thankful that we have our team of doctors at
Absolutely.
the Janeway to help with all that.
Definitely.
Jeff, how's your seat doing tonight?
I have a feeling it's going to be hot pretty quick.
It sure is.
I apologize for my voice. I sound a bit funny here tonight. I've been, my throat was a bit dry. But
Well, you've had a busy few days.
Yes, I have.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready as I'm going to be.
Every blank minutes in Canada, someone dies from heart disease or stroke. A, 7 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or 45 minutes.
I'm going to think it's probably every 7 minutes, because if it was like 20 minutes or 40 minutes, it seems like a far stretch.
Wow. You're correct.
Yeah.
It's every 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is, if you think about it. We've been here chatting for about a half hour.
Yeah.
So,
So that's a lot of people per day. I think it's like,
yeah.
and the math whiz like my children are, but yeah, that's a lot. Number 2, blank percentage of all deaths in Canada are from heart disease. 50%, 29%, 40%, or 15%.
It's definitely not 50. What was the second one? 29?
29.
I'd say 29.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would think it's 29.
Wow.
Is right?
We are scary. Yes, you are correct.
Awesome.
That is freaky.
I'd like to note that I am not cheating, because that was a discussion we had last week. I'm not cheating.
I was thinking that today. I was like, oh my gosh, if Jeff does well on this, it's going to be like,
Yeah.
Number 3, cardiovascular disease costs the Canadian economy more than
Oh my gosh.
7 million a year,
Definitely more.
20 million, 50 million, or 20 billion.
I wouldn't say it's in the billions. The first one was what?
7 million,
Yes,
20
more.
million, 50 million, or 20 billion.
50?
Close. It's actually 20 billion.
What?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That I was along the lines of you, Jeff, when I was looking at this, and my jaw dropped. That's a lot of money.
That is so much money.
So obviously we need.
And I mean, even considering the fact that it's like, what did you say, 29%
Yeah.
of the population of people who die,
Affected with the.
and it's $20 billion. Wow.
It's actually 20.9 billion. I took off the 9.9 because I knew you'd probably clue in. Okay, that's a very, very precise number. But that's an incredible cost. Blank in 10 Canadians have at least one risk factor for heart disease or stroke. 2 in 10, 3 in 10, 7 in 10, or 9 in 10.
Going between 3 and 7.
It's actually 9 and 10.
What?
Yeah, I was shocked. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So obviously it's a major thing in not only this province in Canada,
Yeah.
right? And the education that needs to go in there, and the studies, of course, that are being ongoing, trying to deal with all the reasons for this. I mean, sometimes it's lifestyle, sometimes it's hereditary, sometimes it's a combination. So crazy numbers, isn't it?
It's very, very alarming.
It is very alarming. I was really surprised when I seen those,
But when you think about it too, like, I mean, one of the nurses, when they were talking to us about heart disease and if there were any heart defects in the family, I started going through the list and thinking about all of my family members who are passed down or still living, who have heart conditions. And you know what? It's that was eye-opening for myself, just thinking about that. And then Vanessa
Indeed.
started doing it as well, and it's crazy how many people are affected by it.
It is. I think, obviously, according to these numbers, every family has been dealing with cardiac issues, a relative, some manner, because it's very, very high.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. So I'm very thankful that we do have the healthcare system that we have.
Definitely.
And the doctors that we have, and the ones we have in our province. Because without the doctors and staffing that we have, we'd be in, I guess, even more trouble.
Yes, absolutely.
Next up.
Okay,
All right.
serious.
Next up is How Well Do You Know Your Valentine, sponsored by Terrace Kitchen and Cafe, located in the Higdon Building, Main Road, Dildo. It is open daily, specializing in both Newfoundland and ethnic cuisine, eat-in or take-out available. Also cater to private parties and gatherings. Follow her on Facebook to look out for her daily specials and events. Welcome to the show, Gail and Calvin.
Woohoo!
Are you ready to play the game?
Yes.
All right.
You?
Are we?
Oh, we're ready. So, first question, whose idea was it to play this game?
Mine.
Gales.
Calvin, I guess you agree, do you?
I said Gale.
Who said I love you first?
Definitely him. Is it? Yes. Right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
What'd you say, Calvin?
Yeah.
I'm getting a feeling he's a yes man.
Ha ha ha. He says yes to you more often.
Who always replaces the toilet paper roll?
Me? Who always replaces toilet paper roll?
Gale.
And who is the better cook?
Gale.
Me.
Except for the barbecues.
So who made the first move?
Me. Was it me? Did I make the first move?
Sure. It's a long time ago.
Emily did.
Listen, don't drag me into this.
Who is better at keeping secrets?
Calvin.
Calvin.
Man, a few
Big
words.
time Calvin.
Now listen to this one. Who spends more money?
Gale.
Me. Thrift stores.
Who has the most clothes?
Gale.
Me.
And who has the most shoes?
Me.
Gale.
Who's most likely to get a traffic ticket?
Calvin.
What?
Traffic ticket.
Me. No seatbelt.
Another one. Who buys the best gifts?
Me. Who buys best gifts?
Mark.
Mark. Me. Me?
You.
You don't know how to give.
I'll bring Spark with me, you know, so.
Yeah, but you don't know how to kick it out.
Yeah, we'll go with Gale. That's your final answer.
Who has the craziest family?
Like craziest? He do. Craziest family.
Craziest family. That's a close one.
Huh. I say I do. You think I do? I do. I do.
Yeah, because you got more of them.
What is your favorite color?
Brown.
Blue.
What superpower would Calvin have?
What
What?
superpower would you have?
Gail, you have to answer it.
Okay. Kind-hearted.
Oh.
Well. Now, Calvin, you have to answer the question for Gail. What superpower would Gail have?
I don't think I'll say.
PG.
PG, yeah.
What am I like?
What?
What kind of person
Very accommodating, making everybody happy.
Oh, gee. Oh.
There you
You
go.
might get lucky tonight, no?
Oh, hilarious. What is the one thing, Gail, that would Calvin, besides apart from you and the kids, would Calvin save in a fire?
He's saved in a fire. Probably his grandmother's days.
Oh, cool.
And Calvin, what would Gail save?
I think photo albums of the kids.
Very good.
Pictures.
Got you. Perfect. That's it. You survived.
Oh,
You guys got $30 worth of gift cards to Tara's Kitchen and Cafe. Just in case you didn't know, school buses are those big yellow contraptions that drive our local highways transporting our kids to and from school. They have lights that flash red, as well as a stop sign on the side that extends out to stop traffic while children get on and off the bus and cross the road. Anyone with any common sense or any driver's training would know what a school bus is and what they do and how to react when seeing one on the road. The reason for my sarcastic approach to this next interview is because as of late, we have seen unsettling evidence that some people may not know the rules of the road while driving near a school bus. Here to speak with us about this issue is Danielle George, a mother of 3 from South Dildo, who recently found herself turning to social media to express her outrage about this issue. Thank you so much for coming on, Danielle.
thank you for having me.
I didn't release any details of your story in my opening, so would you be able to tell us basically what happened?
Yes. As I do normally, I go down at 3 o'clock and get my kids off the bus. And I stand there and there's traffic going back and forth because Crescent and Woodland, they get out at the same time.
Okay.
So there's a lot of traffic, a lot of buses. So I see my bus pull up and they'll slow down, put the lights on, he'll put out the sign. And I'll look cautiously. I don't unnecessarily jump out into the road. But if I see a car that doesn't stop, I get out in front of the car and I ensure they stop. Because they do run the light quite often.
Oh, wow.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So this is what happened. A car drove through the stoplights, basically, of the bus.
The lights were blinking, the sign was out, and they had excessive speed, and they whizzed past me, and then I stepped out in front of the next car, and that's the guy that caught the incident on the video that was put on social media.
Yes, we did see that, actually.
That gives me chills just thinking about what can happen there.
Oh, it's very scary, and they're little children of all ages,
Right.
and it's just, your heart sinks when you see that happen, right?
That's wicked. So, what was your reaction when you experienced all this? Were you just jumping into the deal with the situation?
Yes, it happened quite. It happens all the time. It's getting to be a weekly occurrence. So I just every day that's what I do. I step out to the road and make sure the car stops for children to cross.
Wow.
Yes, and there's lots of witnesses. There's cars on both sides. The bus driver. It's just a weekly occurrence. It's getting out of hand, right?
Yeah. So has any enforcement been involved?
Yes, the police have been contacted, so I'm just waiting to hear back to see what they're going to do. Because
Right.
we got the license plate and the make and model of the car.
Right. So has it been a specific day of the week that we should be watching out for this, or is it just,
It's random,
Very
but
random.
It's constant, yes.
Yeah, okay. So aside from taking action on Facebook and without saying any names or pertinent information, has there been any legal action taken as of yet?
No, not on my part anyway. I'm not sure what the police may do, so I'm just waiting to kind of hear back from them and see what they recommend I do
Right.
and what my rights are.
Right.
I saw a video on Facebook that someone had took with a dash cam in a vehicle.
Yes.
The video portrayed a very scary scene. I can only imagine what you all must have been thinking as you stood and saw it happen.
It's very scary, and I mean, there's days I've actually had to jump out into the road because the kids are coming across the street, and I don't know, the drivers don't see them, they're not focused, they're speedy, it's terrible.
So was that you on the video actually standing in the road?
Yes, that's me, and that's
Oh,
a daily occurrence. People probably know me when they see me doing it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So how
Yeah.
old are your kids and what school do they go to?
They go to Woodland Elementary in Dildo, and they're 9, 6, and 3.
Oh, wow.
And there's a number of other children that get off at that stop as well, younger and older.
Yeah.
Do you know if there are any monitors on the bus to help the kids on and off?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. That would be a great help, but I guess that's a school administration. I'm not even sure if they're aware of the issues, but it's definitely something I should bring up with them and see if they can bring it back.
Have you thought about going to the school and talking to them about it all?
Yes, I have, because I do volunteer down to the school. So now, since this is cut on the video, it makes it more. Because before, when people would pass me there on the road, I would have no proof of their license plate, and calling and saying, "Well, a black car passed." So it's not much information.
Right.
So now I feel like I got something to say, and they might be taking me more serious, because I don't think people thought it was that bad.
Yeah,
now
definitely.
There's proof, right?
So what precautions do you think need to be put in place to ensure that we can have a safer busing program?
The bus monitors are definitely a good idea if they can bring that back.
Right.
As well, I think the buses should have those cameras, and they can slow down and catch the pictures. I can't take a picture of a cell phone, of a car going at that speed, so that would help.
Yeah.
So obviously we need more education and awareness, not only to the public, but to the busing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, yeah.
Well, Danielle, it was so great to talk to you this morning. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for coming on, Danielle, and this will help spread awareness and education.
Yes, for sure.
Really appreciate it.
And if you have any further updates, I mean, by all means, come on.
Yes, indeed.
And talk to us again.
Okay.
Because the safety of our children is everything, hey?
Oh, it is, girls. It's not just my kids. It's all the kids all over the place need to be safe. They should not have to worry about these things.
For sure. The condition of our highways is a very hot topic amongst many Newfoundlanders and the community of Markland. A small town just outside Whitburn is standing together to bring awareness to the deterioration of the stretch of highway known as Markland Road. Resident Tonya Somerton has been spearheading this debate and has developed a petition to have the Department of Highways to do something about their main access road. Hi Tonya, thanks so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon. How are you guys?
We are
good.
So, Tonya, as stated in our opening here, the condition of our highways is of great importance to everyone. Can you please give us a description of Markland Road?
Well, currently, the stretch of road there is about, from Whitburn to Colonette is approximately 24 kilometres, but the stretch road that we're talking about particularly is the stretch road from where Whitburn ends and Markland begins. So it's about approximately 10 kilometres there for the main area thoroughfare from Whitburn to Markland. Right through to Colonette obviously is an issue because, traffic does go through there, and that is about 24 kilometres all the way through. But as I pointed out, that small stretch from Whitburn to Markland is the main area of concern. The holes in the road are crazy, very deep holes. The pavement has been worn away. There's holes in there. They put the coal patch in like 18 times. But of course, that just comes out when you have bad weather or just by traveling over the road. So, the main stretch there is our concern. And, as I said, it's just in difficult conditions. Very dangerous at this point.
How many residents are in Markland?
It's less than 500. The last figures I could find in the census, there were about approximately 300 residents in there. And again, that's part of our trouble is the low numbers of residents in there. And of course, you know how things work. It's the squeaky wheel that gets greased. And because there's such a low number of people, and most of them are elderly people who can't get on, sending emails and these kinds of things that today's world is turning into electronic and everyone's on, social media and those kinds of things. Unfortunately, that's not the population that we're dealing with in Markland. And while there are, young families in there as well, the majority of the people in there are elderly who, don't have that voice. And I'm trying to advocate for them and for the community, all members.
So is the stretch of road used for any essential services?
Well, the stretch of road, you have to realize, is the only road in and out of Markland. The one road is for everything. That's our thoroughfare for fire. It's our ambulance service. It's everything. It's the only road. So you have to realize that, if the road is in, a condition, that's the only way in and out.
Right. So is there any, police station or ambulance station or fire station in Markland?
There's no fire station in Markland, so we depend wholly on the services that Whitburn Fire Department provides. Right. The road to Markland does have the police station on it currently, and the ambulance service is actually located in Markland, so they have to travel out for emergencies and travel in, obviously, if there are concerns in that way.
Wow.
What has the town of Markland done so far to bring awareness to this issue?
Well, we've written letters. I've written letters to the Department of Works and Transportation. We've rallied RMHA, Sherry Gannon Walsh. We have signed petitions. I have a petition currently that was open. Actually, it was 2 years ago now. We had over 250 signatures on that went to government. There's been no real, I guess, progress since any of that. Seems like it's falling on deaf ears.
So do you have any response at all from government about the complaints?
The only response that we've gotten is that every time it's, wait till the next budget comes out to see what, we'll advocate. And there's a process that they use. Sherry Gannon White did send me their process and what they use to, I guess, decide. A part of that is, the condition of the roads, the safety, and then, of course, a big piece of it is the advocacy of the people in the community. That's a part of it. So, there are many factors, I guess, in decision-making. But, again, our numbers are low.
Right.
So what is the next step?
Well, I'd like, I guess, a call to all of the people in the surrounding areas, anyone who uses that road, to, write a letter, make a phone call, write an email, whatever, to the Department of Transportation Works. That's what Sherry Gannon Walsh suggested. Okay. The more people that we can get sending in these concerns to the department, that's what they need. They need to hear what the concerns are. I actually have a telephone number that you can call, and it's 709-729-2300, or you can email at tw@gov.nl.ca, or you can actually write, the old-fashioned snail mail, Department of Transportation Works, P.O. Box 8700, St. John's, Newfoundland, A1B4J6. That's what I would suggest every resident of Markland or anyone who uses that road to do.
So do you still have the petition happening right now? Is that still open?
I've reopened the petition. Currently we're over 300 signatures on it there, and I do have a link to that on the Facebook page or Markland there on Facebook, so anyone can go to that.
Right.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you so much for taking the time speaking with us, Tonya.
Not a problem. I hope to get as many people involved as we can.
Absolutely.
And you've provided the information on how people can get in touch with you.
Yeah, and I've also put that on my personal Facebook as well as the Facebook for the local service district of Markland.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you for advocating for your town. Our music selection this week is brought to you by Scott Gilbert. Here is Sailor's Love Song from his CD, Savage Mug-Up.
Stranded on this ocean, the waves just keep on rolling. I look up at the stars and think of you. The times we spent together, the love we pledged forever. Tonight I'm lost, tonight I'm feeling blue. Tonight I'm lost, tonight I'm missing you. A sailor's love song written just for you. You're in my mind, you're in my heart, in everything I do. No matter how far this old boat makes good on this lonely sea, you are here with me. The wind cannot blow stronger, the depths are not as deep. So love I feel for you, girl, as I drift off to sleep. And I close my eyes and you are here, I can almost feel your touch. Tonight I'm lost, I'm missing you so much. Tonight I'm lost, tonight I need your love. A sailor's love song written just for you. You're in my mind, you're in my heart, in everything I do. No matter how far this old boat makes good on this lonely sea, you are here with me. And I will weather every storm. 'cause I know I'm not alone. A sailor's love song written just for you. You're in my mind, you're in my heart, in everything I do. No matter how far this old boat makes good on this lonely sea, you are here with me. You are here with me.
So this concludes our 4th episode. A big thank you to all of you listeners. We certainly appreciate the support. Thank you to our guests Danielle George and Tonya Somerton, as well as Scott Gilbert for his music selection. And a big thank you going out to Terrace Cafe for sponsoring the game, How Well Do You Know Your Valentine? And finally, a big thank you to Gail and Calvin Bugden for participating in the game. Thank you.
I think we soon have to do a video, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Video.
Video. All right, ciao.
Ciao.